while the seedlings Ego had planted on 1,000 worlds began breaking the surface, ready to swallow every one of those skies at once. Everyone still loyal to Peter converged on the same nightmare at once. Yondu's ship reached the planet and tore down through its crust. Gamora and Nebula climbed up out of the caverns of bones, and Mantis made the choice that decided everything. For years she had been Ego's servant, the empath whose only job was to sing the sleeping god to rest, too frightened of him to do anything else. Now, with the man she had come to care about strapped into the core, she warned the Guardians what Ego truly was, and threw her lot in with them. Reunited at last inside the collapsing paradise, the Guardians turned Mantis's one talent into their whole plan. She seized Ego's mind and forced him under, holding the god asleep with everything she had, while Rocket built a device out of the stolen Sovereign batteries, and Baby Groot carried it down into the brain of the world to end the thing from the inside. Peter spent his last minutes as a Celestial fighting his father with his father's own light. And when the charge went off, Ego ended. The paradise began collapsing into the void, and the light in Peter guttered out with its source. He was mortal again, and the whole world was collapsing around him with no way out. The Guardians made their own escape as the paradise came apart, but Peter was still deep inside it, and there was only one flyer who could reach him. Rocket strapped an arrow rig onto Yondu, the same kind of jet Rocket used to fly, and Yondu dove back down into the collapsing planet after the boy. He found Peter in the ruin and had exactly one spacesuit between them. He put it on Peter. There was never a version of that moment where he kept it for himself. As the two of them rose out of the collapsing world and into the black, Yondu told the boy the only thing left to say: that Ego may have been his father, but he was never his daddy. And the void quietly took the Ravager while Peter beat his fists against a truth he had understood 20 years too late. They gave Yondu a Ravager's farewell, his ashes scattered into the stars. And as the small crew stood in their grief, the sky outside filled with ships. Every Ravager clan in the galaxy had heard what Yondu Udonta did, and they arrived in formation and lit the dark with the colors. The fireworks salute reserved for their own, the exile revoked in the only way that matters. Kraglin inherited the arrow and a fin to learn it with. Nebula embraced her sister and left anyway, because she had one name left on her list, and that name is Thanos. And Peter Quill walked away from the year, having lost a god's inheritance and both of his fathers, keeping only the one thing that turns out to matter in this story: the knowledge of which of those two men had actually raised him. Far away, in a golden throne room, the humiliated priestess of the Sovereign stood over a new kind of birthing pod, growing the perfect being she intended to end the Guardians with, and she already had his name picked out.